Welcome to our Hawaii home tour update. Come on inside. Since our original Hawaii home tour video, we have added little changes to make it more homey. And I took a long time to fill up our home with things that we really love that we'll cherish for a long time. But now I can finally say most of the rooms are completely finished with like pictures on the wall. We've done little updates to the house, but not much. Most of it has been like decoration, hanging picture frames, moving kids in different rooms, which made the most sense based on as the kids were getting older. And I just thought it would be fun to show you a little update on what we've done to this house because it's a lot more homey since the original video when we had gotten most of the furniture but we hadn't like completed the space. So this room, the living room, is probably my favorite room in the entire house. It's just very homey now that I've filled the space with our family's favorite pictures, and it took me a while to get there, but we made it really functional as well. So I'll just show you a little bit of what we got. So firstly, I added a wall of picture frames of some of my favorite family pictures, and I just love this wall because it just shows the heart of our family and all of our kids as they're growing up. We also have a couple of the kids' artwork hanging up, and I have our favorite like fun homeschool books that are easy access for the kids so they can read on the daybed or the couch whenever they feel like it. And I just love the way this turned out. I also love plants, and I still would like to add more to the house, but I haven't made trips to the garden store in a while, but the ones that I do have so far are doing really well. We also added this daybed to the living room and moved the chair that we originally had there to the back of the house because this just felt like it made more sense to put something really cozy and big here. A lounger type of area. Also, some family who comes to visit could sleep here potentially, or a friend sleep over. We've used it a couple times for that as well. And I just really love this daybed. Also guys, I am like over 6 months pregnant now. It is going by so fast. Can't believe it. Also, just a little side note before I keep going any further, our house is normally not this clean and organized. It normally looks like this. But I cleaned it up for this video. We're kind of like a 1 or 2 times a week type of family that cleans up the house, like organizes. So I added a lot more pillows to our couch and it makes it a lot more cozy. Originally we had a guest room in here, and we have since moved that because we now use our ohana for guests. So we have split up the kids so they're not all in one room because we used to have one less child and they fit perfectly in that one room. But now that the boys are getting older, we split them up so that Scout has a room in the back with Kofax now that we have another child, and the older boys are in this room. So this is their room in here, and it's been a nice space for them because they each get their own like separate spaces now. All right, moving on. Not much has changed in the kitchen and the dining room, but there is something we've done over here. So this space used to be a completely blank space. There was nothing in here. It was just this open area, and we didn't really know what the point of it was for. Other than that, we were gonna do something with it. So we put a daybed in here, like a big full-sized mattress, built a wooden frame and a wooden little like cubby area, and it's a great cozy area for us in the house. We use this space all the time. It's kind of turned into the kids' Lego area, and we hang up our stuff on the corner. We cuddle up in there and read books all the time over here. It's a perfect window spot that's super comfy. And if you haven't watched our original Hawaii home tour video, I would recommend checking it out. I'll put a link below for you because we show a lot more details of the kitchen and the dining room, but we really haven't changed much there, so I don't really want to re-show that again. It feels a little bit redundant. I'm just kind of showing you what we've updated since then. This was also like an empty area when we first moved in. Didn't really know what to put there at first, but I really like how it's turned out. We put a couple of shelves to put books on, a couple of pictures, and then a little sitting area beneath. Not much has changed in the kitchen, so we're gonna head over here to Scout and Kofax's room. So while the older boys are in the other room, we have this room for Scout and Koufax, and it's worked really nicely so far. Well, it'll probably change as they get older, but for now we have Koufax in the crib and Scout is in this bed that used to be a bunk bed. It's just the bottom part of a bunk bed. They love having their own spaces to put their own toys now. All right, next we have a bathroom, which is like a Jack and Jill bathroom, but we haven't changed anything, so we're gonna keep going. All right, we got one more room. Koufax is sleeping in here. We have our bedroom and bathroom. So we definitely added some finishing touches to this room. I added side tables for us with a little essential oil diffuser thing and more plants in here, which I always love. And I also recently got some new bedding, which I am obsessed with. I love fresh new bedding. It's definitely one of my favorite things. And I'm trying out linen for the first time, which I've always wanted to try, and I got it from Brooklinen. And the reason I chose Brooklinen was because they were founded on the philosophy that people deserve simple, beautiful home essentials without the luxury markup. And they're having their birthday sale right now, which runs from April 26th to May 4th, where all Brooklinen products are 20% off their site. You spend 1/3 of your life in sheets, so for me, I want them to be insanely comfortable and beautiful. I got the linen hardcore sheet bundle because instead of buying individual items, you save 25% by getting the hardcore bundle, which includes a core sheet set, extra pillowcases, and a duvet cover. Wow, so soft. Wow. These sheets are so cozy. These sheets are 100% linen and made from European flax, which is perfect for cozy days and cool nights. Making my home beautiful and comfortable and keeping it fresh in my sheet and bedding game is one of my favorite forms of self-care. So other than that, the only thing we've added is this chair, but it will get moved around a little bit when this last baby comes. And this is our bathroom, which is basically the same as it was before. I also have my Brooklinen towels, the waffle towels, which I'm obsessed with. Alright, we finished the house. Now we're gonna head outside and show you our garden.
Fire!
Yeah, you telling them what's in the garden? Alright, now we're going to show you the garden. It's been a few years since we did our last garden tour update. So a lot has happened since that video, so I'll give you a little update where we're at. We've had a few setbacks over the last couple years. Our avocado tree that is right here by the entryway of the house started to die. It's not a very good avocado tree anyway, so we're going to pull that out and make this area a new garden bed and possibly maybe a new tree. So this was the avocado that was here when we moved in. It's never been a really great avocado, but it used to look a lot nicer than this. It's got some sort of disease or something and it's dying. We were going to pull it out anyway, so this is a good excuse to pull it out, and we're thinking maybe put another tree here, possibly a flower garden or vegetable garden in this area. We're not entirely sure what we're going to do with that yet. We used to have two big coconut trees there. There's a third one behind there, but there used to be two right next to each other, and we had to take one of those glorious mature coconut trees down, which was a sad day. The tree had gotten some sort of disease. We don't know exactly what happened. Where we're at, it gets a little more rain than coconut trees sometimes like, so it could have been a rat or a bird that burrowed its way into the tree, and somehow it got some sort of disease that killed the tree, so we had to cut that down. But we've planted a lot of stuff over the last couple of years as well. Some of those things have been eaten by deer, and some of those things are doing well, so I'll show you where we're at. Alright, so I've been spreading bananas throughout the yard since our last update.
You want Daddy to hold you?
Daddy garden.
Daddy garden, yeah.
Banana.
Bananas, yeah. What else do you see?
It's fire.
Yeah, you telling them what's in the garden? What else do you see in the garden?
Fire.
Papaya, yeah. What else do you see?
Fire.
More papaya, yeah.
Let's show them the other bananas.
What's this right here?
Banana.
Bananas, yeah. So when we first moved in here, we just had maybe like 20 or 30 banana plants, and I've spread those around the yard. Each one starts producing more and more, and you can cut them out of the ground and spread them throughout your yard if you want, or give them away. So I've given away lots of bananas to friends, but I've also planted them around the yard to add more banana plants to our yard. So here's a little banana section I added here. So I had to plant a new avocado tree. Our last one died that I planted. It got eaten by deer. This is a Charwell Avocado, which is one of our favorite varieties here that grow in Hawaii. We got our compost pile over here you saw in our last video. Nice thing about compost piles is sometimes you get things that sprout up. So a couple of these papayas I planted and a couple just sprouted up out of the compost pile. I got some squash that sprouted out of the compost bin as well. From our last video, I think we had Kobocha Squash. So this started popping up a few months ago. Couple pineapple. I haven't planted pineapple before. We'll see what happens. This is white gold pineapple. Takes a really long time to grow, almost 2 years from the time you plant it. You just take the top of the pineapple, the green part, soak it in some water, and then stick it in the ground. And 2 years later, hopefully you get a pineapple. So these are about a year old. Haven't been doing the greatest. They've gotten a lot bigger, but eventually a little baby pineapple will pop out of the center here. And it might be ready about a year from now. This squash popped out of our compost pile a few months ago, and it's starting to get its first little baby squash on it here. There's some more over. Seen quite a few, 5 or 6 of these little guys. So these guys get about the size of a small basketball or volleyball sometimes. Kobocha squash, one of our favorite squashes. This is our lime tree here, and underneath it sprouted up this cherry tomato plant.
That's ready.
Nice little golf ball sized tomatoes. You want a tomato? You want a tomato? Pick one. So one of our compost piles is right here. Probably the wind blew a seed of a tomato plant, just popped up. Sometimes the best produce in our garden is a surprise, like the squash and the tomatoes that blow in the wind or come out of the compost pile. And so here's one of our Tangelo trees we planted. It got eaten down to the nub, down to the stump. So this is some new growth. I'm not sure if it's really going to make it. We had traveled to the mainland for a month and we're off island. The deer decided to wander on and eat a bunch of our fruit trees. Since we've been back, we haven't had as much problem. We've seen some deer, but they haven't been eating our trees. A couple weeks ago, one of the deer was running around our property and our neighbor's dog was chasing it and they were playing. It was really cute. I think Ellen's gonna share the video. And they're really beautiful.
So cute when they came, like literally the dog and the deer were chasing each other for like 5 minutes, like just in such a fun, playful way.
Yeah, that was awesome. We planted 3 dwarf coconuts. These are a couple years old. So dwarf trees still produce similar amount of coconuts, they just stay a lot shorter, so it's much easier to harvest than a big tall one like that. So this is a new banana patch that I planted about 1.5 years ago. I'd taken some bananas from our other banana patch, and they were about smaller than this, and in about 1.5 years we've had bananas. So I've gotten 4 banana racks off of this little patch I planted 12 bananas here. We'll call it a little banana circle where you put a little compost pit in the center. You get a rack of bananas, cut off the rack, and then you chop down the whole thing, and then these ones sprout off the mother plant. So this was the original plant, and then these ones sprouted off the mother plant. So when this one's done with the bananas, this one will be cut down like this, and then these ones will take over. And they'll grow off baby bananas, or we call them keikis, and then it gives you a never-ending supply of bananas.
And now we have so many bananas.
planted about 12 trees a year and a half ago, and in this banana circle we have about 12 racks I harvested. This will be my 4th or 5th one that I'm harvesting, so there's another 6 or 7 in here, and then a bunch of the trees are getting close to producing another one. We've been averaging about 1 a week. This week we had 4 banana racks though, so that's improving our average. So it saves us about $50 a month in our food bill with eating all the bananas. So we've been freezing them and making banana ice cream, and we always eat a lot of bananas anyways in our smoothies and stuff. So that's nice. That saves us about $500 or $600 a year. Over here we had planted a couple of trees. We have our ulu or breadfruit tree here. That's doing nicely. It's about 1.5 years or 2 years old. About doubled in size since we planted it. The trunk size has really gotten a lot fatter, which is a good sign. If you don't know what breadfruit is, it's like a starchy fruit that you generally cook. You can eat it raw, but generally it's about the size of maybe a small soccer ball. And you kind of cook it like a potato, so very filling and calorie rich. Ulu or breadfruit is a traditional Hawaiian fruit that was brought here with the first Polynesian settlers that came to Hawaii about 1,000 years ago. So it's kind of nice to have something that has been here for a long time. Then down here we lost our beloved jackfruit tree that never grew more than 1 foot tall. I don't know what happened. We did all the same things that we did to our other trees, but for whatever reason, it didn't make it. New shoe funny, he's a good little boy named Kobocha Squash. You just like changing out your shoes.
Oh, I do.
That's okay, I'm doing this one first. So we want to put another fruit tree here to replace the jackfruit. We're not sure if we're going to try another jackfruit or something else. It gets a little bit of wind down here. I want to do another lychee tree, but we might try again with jackfruit. So down here we got we got 2 coconuts left. We used to have another one right here. So we got our big one here, and then there's one behind it back there. So we have 2 producing coconut trees. So over here I planted a few more bananas, because I didn't think we had enough. And then we got a little row of papayas here. Oh, we got some red scout. It looks like we might have some ones that are about ready to be picked.
Can I pick that one?
Let's see. This is called a red Lady Papaya. Yeah, go ahead and pick that one. A little twisty one.
But look, it's a tiny bit green.
Yeah, tiny bit green. We got some bigger ones over here.
It's like a baby. It's like a baby, Dad.
A nice
Nice
papaya. Kofi's gonna hold that one.
And that one.
I'll pick this one too. Yeah.
Holding it.
So the papayas have been pretty consistent. We had a pretty dry, wet season this year. Papayas don't really love a lot of rain, so the papayas have been pretty nice this winter. This helps with the food bills too. This probably saves us we were probably spending $20 or $30 a week in papayas. Like these papayas right here would have been about $20. These 4 papayas.
Dad, can you?
So that will be good for papayas for the week for us. I might buy a few more.
Ooh, look at those papayas.
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay, go take them up inside.
So we got a couple Tangelo trees. This one has given us about 20 or 30 Tangelos a year. It's not really Tangelo season right now, so we're getting like a second crop of, there's maybe like 5 or 10 more on here. Normally they produce in the wintertime. We're going into getting close to summertime. Since we had such a dry, wet season, some of the fruit trees kind of got tricked into thinking what season it was. So we've been getting oranges and citrus at the farmer's market that normally come in the wintertime. You know, we're in almost the month of May, and people are still getting citrus, which is what's been nice for us here in Hawaii. Over here we got a couple of Suriname cherry trees. We planted this one when we first moved in. It got mostly eaten by the deer last year, so I was a little worried we were going to lose it. But it's really come back, and it's got a lot of cherries on it now. This one we just planted about 1 year ago, and it got eaten down to the nub, and I thought it was gone as well, but it's starting to grow back. The kids love those Suriname cherries. This is our original banana patch that we had when we moved in. We've gotten tons of bananas from it. I've used the baby bananas, the keikis, to transplant them around the rest of the yard as well. So this has been doing great for us. It was nice to have this when we moved in.
How many racks do you think we've gotten from this?
From this patch, probably 30 plus racks or so. Each rack's about 20 to 40 pounds of bananas. So quite a few pounds of bananas. Here's one of the dwarf coconut trees I planted when we first moved in. This one is doing the best. This is about 3 years old. Generally it's going to take close to 6 to 8 years to produce coconuts. But this one's doing really well. So about a year ago, we thought it was going to die. A big windstorm came in and blew it over and kind of uprooted part of it. But then I stabilized it and added some more soil to hold it down, and it re-rooted and took off and is doing better than ever. So that was a win for our garden. And then here we have our Brazilian cherry tree. Could probably use a little bit of a trim. That's similar to the Suriname cherry, fun cherry tree for the kids to come out and eat.
But the deer never got this one.
Yeah, they don't really care about this. They don't really go for the bananas or the papayas either, or the coconuts. There's just certain leaves they like, and this kind of cherry, coconuts, bananas, papayas, they don't really tend to go for.
All right, that is the end of our updated Hawaii home and garden tour. I hope you found it fun to watch and see our progress with our home. Anything you want to say, babe?
Thanks for watching. Bye.
And don't forget, guys, that Brooklyn is having their birthday sale. All Brooklyn products are 20% off their site from April 26th to May 4th. Get it now. These sheets and bedding are insanely comfortable and so beautiful.